The Dallas Cowboys are about to unleash an elite defense in 2025. But do you know the secret behind this transformation? For years, Cowboys fans have been waiting for this team to finally take the next step. And now, based on everything we're hearing from the front office, that moment might be coming. Stephen Jones recently said, "We want to build the best roster in the NFL." But the real question is, are the Cowboys finally being aggressive enough to make that happen? This offseason feels different. The hiring of Brian Schottenheimer as full-time offensive coordinator was expected, but bringing in Matt Eberflus as the new defensive coordinator, that's a game changer. Eberflus is known for building disciplined, high-intensity defenses, and his arrival signals a major shift in philosophy. This isn't just about small tweaks. It's about creating a dominant physical defense that can take over games. And here's the proof. At the NFL Combine, the Cowboys' interviews were laser-focused on the defensive side of the ball. They're not just looking for raw talent. They want players who fit Eberflus's system, guys with the right mindset to reshape this defense. Think about it. The Cowboys have always relied on their offense to carry the team. But how many times has that backfired? When the defense collapses in key moments, everything falls apart. That's exactly why the front office is making these moves, to finally build a defense that can win championships. But what do you think? Do you trust what the Cowboys are doing? Are they finally making the right moves to build a dominant defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. The NFL Combine isn't just about testing speed and strength. It's about finding the right pieces to build a winning team. And this year, the Cowboys are making one thing clear. Defense is the priority. Dallas is using the Combine to do more than just scout talent. They're looking for players who fit their new defensive identity. It's not just about athleticism. It's about mentality, discipline, and the ability to execute in Matt Eberflus's system. So who's on their radar? Reports say the Cowboys have been focused on defensive linemen, linebackers, and cornerbacks in their interviews. That tells us something huge. This team isn't just patching holes. They're rebuilding the defense from the ground up. Think about it. A dominant defensive line takes pressure off the secondary. A smart, aggressive linebacker core can control the middle of the field. And elite cornerbacks, they force quarterbacks into bad decisions. If Dallas nails these picks, they could be stacking up a defense that dominates for years to come. And here's something interesting. Dallas is changing its approach to evaluating prospects. Instead of just looking for raw athleticism like they did with players such as Mazi Smith, they're focusing on football IQ, work ethic, and system fit. That could be the key to avoiding past mistakes and finally building a consistent defensive powerhouse. But now I want your take. Which position do you think is the biggest need for the Cowboys? Defensive line, linebacker, or cornerback? Drop your vote in the comments. If there's one thing the Cowboys have learned, it's that defense starts in the trenches. And in 2025, they're making a statement. They will not be pushed around anymore. For years, Dallas has struggled to stop the run, getting exposed when it matters most. But that's changing. The Cowboys are focusing on building a dominant defensive front, and that starts with Micah Parsons. Parsons is already one of the most feared defenders in the NFL. But here's the problem. He can't do it alone. That's why Dallas is looking for the perfect piece to complement him. A bigger, stronger edge rusher who can hold the line and collapse the pocket. The kind of player who forces quarterbacks into Micah's path. And then there's Mazi Smith, a first-round pick with all the physical tools, but not the production to match. Is he a bust, or is he just waiting for the right coaching and scheme? Dallas has a decision to make. Do they double down on his development, or do they start looking for a new answer on the interior? One thing's for sure, this front seven is going to have a new identity. No more soft run defense, no more getting bullied by physical teams. The Cowboys want fast, violent, and disciplined defenders, the kind that make offenses fear every snap. So let me ask you, what would you do with Mazi Smith? Would you give him another year, or is it time to move on? Sound off in the comments. We talk a lot about the legendary Cowboys of the 90s, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. The triplets were elite, no doubt, but here's what most people forget. That dynasty was built on defense. Those championship teams had some of the most dominant defenses in NFL history. Guys like Charles Haley, Darren Woodson, and Leon Lett set the tone and made life easier for the offense. And guess what? That formula still works today. Look at the teams winning Super Bowls now. The Chiefs. Everyone talks about Mahomes, but their defense was the real difference maker this season. The 49ers, they built their success on a dominant front seven. And that brings us back to the Cowboys. For too long, Dallas has relied on pure offensive firepower. They've put everything on Dak Prescott's shoulders, expecting him to carry the team. But history proves that a great quarterback needs a great defense. A top-tier defense takes pressure off the offense. It creates turnovers, gives short fields, and allows a team to control the game. And if Dallas really wants to be a Super Bowl contender, they must follow the blueprint that made them great in the first place. So let's settle this debate. Do you believe defense wins championships? And more importantly, can the Cowboys build a top 5 defense in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The message from the Cowboys front office is clear. 2025 is just the beginning. Stephen Jones has promised a stronger, smarter, a more physical team. And if everything goes according to plan, Dallas could be 1 year away from a serious Super Bowl run. Think about it. If the Cowboys truly build an elite defense, that changes everything. We've seen it before. Great teams win championships with defense. If this unit can become one of the best in the NFL, it could be the missing piece that finally pushes Dallas over the top. And that leads us to the biggest question of all. Will 2025 be a breakthrough season or just another year of disappointment? Cowboys fans have been promised big things before. We've seen the hype. We've heard the talk. But when it matters most, Dallas has fallen short. Is this time different? Or are we setting ourselves up for another letdown? The truth is, this team has all the pieces to be great. A dominant defense, an experienced coaching staff, and a quarterback with something to prove. But potential doesn't win. Championships, execution does. So now I want to hear from you. Will this defense be good enough to take Dallas to the Super Bowl? Do you believe the Cowboys can finally win it all with this plan? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Because one thing's for sure, 2025 is going to be a wild ride.